get ready, because you about to be an ATLien.
What's we talking about today? Oh, we talking about Portia's Family Matters season finale. Like, I'm just like, it's finally over. Like this, it, 7 whole episodes of cringe worthiness. And shout out to binge worthy because I was just trying to watch his video because you know how you the bad student and you have to read somebody else's notes to get your thoughts together. I'm like, dang, binge worthy, why you gonna drop your video now? You should have did it earlier so I could have watched it before this live. But I'm digressing. It was the 7th episode of Portia's Family Matters. In the season finale, according to the synopsis, Porsha Williams and Dennis McKinley attempt to finalize the details of their parenting plan. They back from Mexico, okay? They back from Mexico. But in the midst of discussing their plan for Pilar, things get heated when Porsha decides it's time to switch things up. Now, this whole episode was what happened? Wait a minute, let me look at my notes. Carl, help me out because you was watching it with me. Y'all know I hadn't watched it yet earlier. I went and watched it. I'm like, I might have to watch this about 3 times. Let me see. It said Porsha and Lundy. You said you glad this hot mess of a show, Portia's Family Matter, is over? You is glad, child. They said, it was gonna be 9 episodes. That's what some people said. It was gonna be 9 episodes, and they cut it to 7. But I don't know. I had always heard it was 7 episodes. Listen, but I may be wrong. But in this episode, y'all remember a few episodes ago, if you've been watching, because some of y'all ain't been watching, hence the ratings, which we'll talk about tomorrow when they come out. But y'all remember a couple of episodes ago when Dennis and Lundy and Dumb and all of them had tequila shot together. They was in Mexico, and Dennis revealed to Lundy, Portia's cousin, that it was actually Portia who made him fire her as her assistant. Well, Portia and Lundy had lunch or dinner or whatever, but they was sitting down eating today. Well, not today, but in this last episode. And Lundy reveals to Portia, she feels the ways like, they cousins, but they don't really act like cousins. And Portia don't never had no time for her. And, she don't know why. It just seems like Portia is always defending one cousin, aka Storm, over the next. And Lundy was like, I feel the ways because Dennis actually told me that it was you who told him to fire me. And then Portia just got up and just had a hissy fit, child. And then they showed it to us. They showed, look, production was on their game. They showing us all the behind the scenes stuff. They showing production little legs with they all black and their cameras and everything. And Portia went back there cursing. She was like, I don't know what the fuck going on. Well, I don't listen. I'm paraphrasing now. Don't be suing me now. I'm paraphrasing. But she went back there and she cursed out production. She was like, but I'm tired of my family saying I ain't there. Who's there for me? Who is there for me? And I don't understand how she did all that, right, Latavia, the dramatics. How she gonna do all that and then come back to the table as if Lundy didn't hear her going off on production? It was almost like Lundy was just sitting there while somebody behind her back talking shit about her. Then Portia come back, act like ain't nothing going on. Let me come back and eat my fries, child. And Lundy just started crying. I would cry too. That's kind of embarrassing. This is my family member. This is my cousin. I'm on this show for her. And I didn't confess to her what, Dennis had said behind the scenes. And now she going off. And yes, why are you being weird to me? Exactly, North Carolina. She was being really weird. And Lundy just started crying. And then Portia gonna get up and hug her and act like everything's okay. Don't cry. It'll be all right. I just want to be a better cousin. We gonna get through this. And I'm just like, Lord. And the way Portia was talking, you could tell it was like she was just doing this for the cameras, child. But Lundy, I could tell she was really in her feelings. Like you could tell Lundy is not an actress. She is not a reality show girl. And she just on there like, this shit is embarrassing. Anywho, you said Portia not over Dennis? No, she is not. But Portia is a seasoned vet in this reality show game. So, of course, she gonna do what she need to do to make it look the way she needed to look. And if you realize it, like had they not shown that clip of Portia cursing the damn production out, and they had just left it in where she's hugging Lundy and saying, everything was gonna be all right, the scene would have been cute and wrapped up in a whole little bow and made Portia look great. But because they showed the production part where she was acting the ass, now everybody looking at her sideways. So she hurt her cousin's feelings. Exactly. Yes, like I don't know. Portia, listen, production was on one. They was really on one this season. Like the first couple of episodes, I'm like, maybe they don't really like her like that. Then as the season started to go on and they started exposing certain things and Portia would hit the social media to try to like clear it up in advance, it's almost like she figured out, well, damn, did I sell my soul? Did I take this check to be made a fool of? Look, Nene tried to tell you, Portia. Nene tried to warn you that Bravo was not for your good, but Portia thought they had her back. She done left the Real Housewives of Atlanta, allegedly, even though they are under the same umbrella. She done quit her jobs at Dish Nation. She is going to be a wife to Simon, now that he done bought the house, everything, even though they allegedly haven't married yet. But it's just interesting how this is all playing out. Now, let's talk about Aunt Liz. Aunt Liz from Hosea Feed the Hungry met with Dennis, to tell him, she needed some donations for Hosea Feed the Hungry. In Atlanta, Hosea Feed the Hungry is a nonprofit organization. They feed homeless and men and women in Atlanta who need help. And so Dennis was happy, to say, yes, just tell me where to send the hot dogs, honey. Just tell me where to send them. You got my full support. So Liz was just telling him that, for some reason, she just feels like, Mexico wasn't a good uh scene for them to, a co-parent and merge families because Dennis didn't get to really see the real Williams family. She said, the real Williams family don't consist of, Miss Diane and all them. She was like, oh, them, I ain't trying to be messy or nothing. But you need to come see about us over here on this side of the family because that side of the family look touched. That's what I got from it. And look, Liz was keeping it real, wasn't she? So Liz is cool, but you giving her the side eye. What? Well, Liz, told Dennis some things. Told, it was like, you was a good man, Dennis. You was a good father, and we appreciate you, Dennis. What I miss? What y'all saying? What Jezebel up here talking about? Jezebel shady. If she goes back to RHOA, it will surprise you, right? Porsha be doing the most she does. I noticed in this episode was Porsha and Simon, sitting around, talking about their new house and how she's so happy about her new house and them moving in or getting ready to move in. And now finally she can start planning for her wedding. And I'm like, ain't that backwards as hell? You got engaged to a man who was still married. Oh yeah, then they showed Simon had, finally his divorce was finally final. So you got married to a man who's still married. Now his divorce final, but y'all already bought a house together, but y'all ain't playing the wedding. She was like, now I can finally plan the wedding after we done bought a house. But anyway, so they got a big old house. We looked at the video the other day. I might show it to y'all again if y'all want to see it. But we saw the video of Portia's house in the last video when I talked about the ratings and everything. So it's big, it's pretty. They got a pool and everything. They got a little house where they got the projection screen TV, the little entertainment area. It's nice. It's real nice. Okay. So anywho, and it's in Buckhead, child. So Simon said, if he had to do it all again, if he had to do it the same way all over again, if he had to do it all over again, he would do it the exact same way. I'm like, dang, people just don't care about getting married and divorced and moving on or whatever. I'm like, it would seem like you would want it to be a little bit easier, but he didn't care. He was like, I do it the exact same way, child. Just get my moving company to move my ex-wife out and move you in. Same old, same old. Let's do it again. If I had to do it all over again, that's what I do. Then production put up a note on the screen and said, it's been a few weeks and Porsha and Dennis have failed to come up with a co-parenting plan. And so then we see Dennis and Porsha meet. Oddly enough, Porsha got on the same little outfit she had on when the fur lady when she pulled that first stunt. Remember in New York or wherever she was with her book signing, and the fur lady came and said, no fur, whatever she said, but we figured it was a stunt. Anyway, she had on the same outfit, the same little Fendi jumpsuit. And so they meet up, and Dennis is talking about her fur and everything, and she's like, "Thanks, Simon, for the fur," or whatever, whatever. Portia's doing everything she can, to, I guess, woo Dennis, because she take off her little fur vest, to show off her body, honey, her body, yada yada. And Dennis is like, "You still a comedian, you still full of games." Dennis thought through her act, honey, because Dennis was like, "Honey, I done had that before. What I'm looking at." But anyway, I'm digressing. Um Dennis was asking, how the engagement going, and Portia was like, "Why you care?" It was a whole little back and forth. "Why you care how my engagement going?" But what she didn't realize was that Dennis was only asking her this because he want to know about, what's going on with his daughter. They got a whole daughter together. Why can't you tell me what's going on with this marriage, divorce, whatever the hell that's going on with this relationship? You got my daughter in the middle of this. So you know, there was an awkward little exchange between the two of them. Like, he was asking her about the new house because she said that she was moving, and he asked her where, and she was like, "Oh, just somewhere in town." And he was a little surprised about that because remember when they were together, she was trying to force him to move out to Duluth where she is, and he wanted to stay in town, and she didn't want to do that. So there was that. Then she wouldn't tell him where. He was like, "Where? Buckhead? Where?" And she was like, "Oh, somewhere around there." And then she was like, we're trying to pick schools for Pilar, since we'll be in town, it should be easy, and it should be close to you, or whatever. And he was like, "How are y'all picking schools instead of us picking schools? I'm confused." He was like, "She's half my daughter too." So, it seemed like Portia got a bit upset and said that Dennis was acting a little strange. But I'm like, how is that strange when it is his child? And why are you acting like he can't be a part of it? So yeah, like, look, Dennis came out of this whole situation a whole lot more likable than Portia did. Portia in her confessional said, she wanted a blended family, but it seemed like, the blended family not working out. Whatever happened in Mexico, it didn't work out. So now she's just gonna have to deal with Dennis as he is, just Dennis. But Dennis said he wanted to meet with both her and Simon, which makes sense because that's where his daughter's gonna be. Of course, I want to talk to the man that's gonna be around my daughter every day and talk to you and figure out what's happening. It makes sense. You said Dennis was jealous. Is that what it is? Is Dennis jealous? I don't know. But whatever the case may be, they need to get it together. Portia, on the other hand, said, she's trying to transition from being a romantic relationship with Dennis to something like a brother. Is that what she said? He would be something like a brother. But the Hosea feed the hungry. Aunt Liz was there, and of course Lundy was there. They wore their overalls, in honor of Hosea Williams. If he used to wear overalls when he fed the hungry. Now, everyone, all the family was supposed to be there. Portia was even supposed to be there, but Portia sent Aunt Liz a tearful video. Her face was made up though. Her face was beat, honey. A tearful video saying that she could not make it and that they had to take Pilar to the hospital to get an IV. And I guess Miss Diane was supposed to be there too, but Miss Diane ain't going either because Miss Diane going to the hospital with Portia. So Portia gave a little excuse, like a doctor's note via video, for her and her mama not to go to the Hosea feed the homeless. Meanwhile, Simon showed up. Simon showed up on Portia's behalf, I guess. And him and Aunt Liz filmed the scene together, and he was like, everything seemed to go well. I appreciate you. And Simon, got a little snippy with Aunt Liz because Aunt Liz said, "You a good man, I like you," or whatever. And then Simon said, "Well, y'all need to start respecting Portia Williams as Hosea's daughter. I mean, granddaughter." And Aunt Liz said in her confessional, look, shout out to Aunt Liz. Aunt Liz said, "That's your job, child. That's your job is to respect her. She's our family member. We love her and everything, but we ain't got to kiss her feet. That's your job." So it was interesting, but I was looking at that whole scene like, Portia didn't show up to a lot of scenes. And if you notice in the previous scenes when they was in Mexico, she didn't show up to a lot of scenes. So when you start putting two and two together, you like, did Portia realize that she was being set up by production? Because when she got mad at Lundy when they was back in Atlanta, and she said, she told production, "I'm tired of all my family dragging me and saying that I'm not there for them." Then it's like, okay, here comes Aunt Liz needing you at the Hosea Feed the Hungry, and you not there for her either. And okay, maybe your daughter was sick. I'll give you that. Maybe, but it's giving me just another excuse like she did in Mexico. She didn't show up for those things. But I'm digressing. Now, I already talked about Porsha and Dennis' situation. They do seem to still, care about each other. And, they are both still parents of this lovely little girl, Pilar. And so, since Porsha seems to want to like cut Dennis out and make him like a brother in the situation, Dennis said he going to the judge, honey. He gonna put some paperwork on Porsha because he need to figure out, what's going on with his daughter. He needs to have joint legal custody, joint something. So, now, the end. Ain't that what happened at the end? What happened at the end? Because I don't remember what happened at the end. Now here we go in real time. Y'all know Portia's been arguing or posting things on the internet to kind of like sway the viewers, because y'all remember just a few weeks ago she put up a post and delete when she was saying she's a good mother and she don't understand why Dennis is saying this, that, and the third. So I think she was trying to get everybody ahead of this situation of Dennis, saying that he wanted to be more involved in life in his child's life. Now, another thing that I noticed, and I had pulled up this article today that I was really intrigued with, is that they thought just what I did. It's this article on Screen Rant, and it said how production worked against Porsha. A very different side of Porsha Williams was shown on Porsha's Family Matters, as the show's production team and editing seemed to work against her. And I was like, "Oh, this is deep. Y'all want me to read it? Y'all know I like read." Uh, it said a more authentic side of Porsha Williams was revealed after the show's production seemingly worked against her. Viewers have been taking to social media to blast Porsha for her behavior on the latest standalone spinoff. If Porsha was hoping to gain fans from appearing on her own show, she seems to be in for a rude awakening. The edit of Family Matters has been showing Porsha attacking her ex-fiance, potentially gaslighting her cousin, and not taking a lot of accountability. Considering Porsha's decision not to promote the season finale of the show, it looks like she also disliked how the show was edited. Ooh, did Porsha not promote the season finale? This is juicy. Portia's spinoff debut was drama filled to say the least. There was already a ton of pre existing issues between the family that unraveled once the camera started rolling. Portia's cousin Storm has scarred history with Dennis McKinley, which led to a number of arguments between them on Family Matters. Portia's cousin Lundy also felt resentment toward Porsha and Storm over feeling mistreated. Porsha getting engaged to Simon so soon after they started dating, as well as her breakup with Dennis, only made things worse. See, in that sentence right there, if I wrote this on my blog, I would have said Porsha getting engaged to Simon so soon after he left his wife. Because I mean, who did listen? Anyway, after watching all 7 episodes of Porsha Family Matters, viewers are left feeling like Porsha was actually the villain on her own show. In the grand finale, she had heated sit downs with her cousin Lundy and ex fiance Dennis. During her interaction with Lundy, Porsha stormed off, bashing her family, which caused Lundy to break down in tears. Meanwhile, when speaking with Dennis, Porsha became upset upon hearing that he wanted to get a court custody agreement for their daughter Pilar. In a post-episode discussion started on Reddit. Oh, I love Reddit. Fans noted how production didn't shy away from showcasing negative aspects of Portia's character. One Redditor asked how Porsha managed to turn the show into a redemption arc for her cheating ex-fiance Dennis. And that's really what happened, because now everybody loves Dennis. At first, everybody's like, Dennis a cheater, Dennis a cheater. Now everybody's like, Dennis is a great father. Why is she doing this to him? Anyway, it goes on to say these fans also remarked on how much more likable Dennis was on the show than Porsha, asking how did everyone else come out more likable than her? Make it make sense. Another fan made reference to Portia's past scandal on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, was when she was involved in the shocking allegations made against Candy Burris. I can't believe I was ever a fan, the fan said. I mean, even the evil rumors about Candy, I still was a fan. What dummy I was. She is manipulative, who is fame, fortune hungry. One viewer called out how disappointed Portia likely felt with her portrayal on Family Matters. This fan mentioned how Portia likely thought the show would paint a favorable image of her, adding, there is no part of that woman that was expecting for the curtain to be peeled all the way back and expose the truth. Producers broke the fourth wall on Portia's spinoff and showed her storming off the set, assaulting Dennis, and even trying to force her family not to speak about the fight. Remember that Portia told her family, don't be telling them nothing. When the show aired, fans saw that Portia tried to control the narrative on the show and tried to avoid taking accountability for her actions. When speaking on a tumultuous family vacation to Mexico, that ended with her throwing boom mics at Dennis, producers asked if Portia apologized to him, and she said no. While she likely thought producers wouldn't air that revelation, they did. Considering the editing job on Portia's Family Matters, Portia might not be too happy with the production team. Ooh, he said it's Portia's family mess. Exactly, QB. Anyway, she needs therapy, anger management, a break from TV, stay single for a minute. Is that what she needs? She punched the production lady in the face and was throwing plates. Child, I don't know. The only thing I know is Portia had to earn that money, honey. That's all I know. They was paying Portia very well, and they was not gonna let Portia do a show without any drama. Okay, without any drama. It's messy tonight. He looked like he came at her first. What? Well, somebody gotta be the villain. Okay. Well, that's that. That's all I got on Portia's Family Matters. Let me